Greetings and welcome to the March edition of The Place to Be, Oshkosh. I'm your host, John Neiman, and so glad that you could join us for this wonderful show. I tell you, 2026 has been going by very, very quickly. There's a lot going on, and that helps the time go by, but we all want to have more time on our hands to do our jobs and everything too. As I always do, I start out by thanking those who make the show possible, and that's our sponsors, who I could not do this show without. So Karen, and the Oshkosh Herald. Well, let's start. Well, they're so good. See, I talk and they change it. The Friends of OCM, Oshkosh Community Media, the board, they help put the programs on. And so they are so nice to do this program for me. And also, remember, you can get your Oshkosh Media discount card through them. It's only $10 still, and there's discounts throughout our community at wonderful restaurants and things like that. Other sponsor, Karen, and the Oshkosh Herald, our community newspaper, which I totally love. She covers everything and pictures. People like to see pictures in their paper, and she does a wonderful job with that. And then our floral design. Our set design is Brian at U Bloom on Witzel. If you have not checked out Brian, you need to. Shame on you if you haven't. He is very community-minded. He does things that I don't even know about, and he doesn't want me to talk about because he just does them because that's how he is. But he has a wonderful shop. U Bloom. It's not just fresh floral, it's silk florals, it's live plants, it's candy, it's clothing, it's jewelry, it's cards, it's everything. So check out Brian on U Bloom. Where can you see this show? Well, you can watch this show on Life TV, Spectrum Channel 2. Also, you can download the app for Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV. And you can go right to YouTube and just put in Oshkosh Media or the show name, and the shows will pop up. All the shows that we've been doing will pop up on there. Please look at them. My kids always kind of make fun of me because I always say, please like the show and share it. Not because, well, it is too, nice to have viewers, but it's also to share the information because the information we have here is so very important on what's going on in your wonderful community. I do want to say the first show that we taped of this show, The Place to Be Oshkosh, was in September of 21, so this is our 5th year of this show. And combining with the other show I did, Helping Hands, we've been on the air for over 20 years. And my goal, which I want to go back to now, is highlighting not-for-profits, their volunteers, their programs, and how they make a difference in our community. So I'm here to announce that I officially retired. So the first time I retired, it was confusing. I retired in July, and they wanted me to stay on to do some programs that I created. And then I just decided I'm going to enjoy life. For me, retiring is 3 things. It's focused on family, faith, and fun in the community. So doing a lot of stuff with my family, babysitting, taking the grandkids, fun places, museums, children's museums, art centers, things like that. Faith, my faith is very important to me, so I'm doing a lot more in my church. And then fun in the community. I took my grandkids with me. This is funny, but I took my grandkids with me to help clean up downtown, which we do. And now when they're out with me and we're somewhere, they will look down and see cigarette butts and garbage and say, shouldn't we be cleaning this up? So you got to start young with the kids. And we live in a great community, and there's plenty of volunteer opportunities. If you're looking for them, you always can go to the United Way's page for Volunteer Oshkosh. And you can put in, thank you crew, you can put in your name and what you're searching for, or you can see the opportunities that there are at Volunteer Oshkosh. A lot of people these days are looking for short-term volunteering because they have families and they want to involve their families. So I have a couple ideas for you. Grace Oshkosh for Salvation Army had their kids make Valentines for the residents that were there, and I thought that was so cool. It's involving the children and the teachers and the staff into helping out, but it's also letting them learn more about Salvation Army. So my granddaughter was over, and I had her do some pictures for me of things that you guys can do in the audience. Make Christmas cards, or not Christmas cards, Easter cards and pictures. This is one she made for Easter. She made a couple. Happy Easter. It doesn't take that much time, but families can do this together, and then they can donate them to agencies for Easter. Christmas is the time everybody gives, But Easter is also an important time. When I was pastor, we would also go Easter caroling instead of Christmas caroling. So I encourage you to get together with your families and make cards, and then go to the local nursing homes, or go to Solutions, or go to Advocap, or go to tiny houses, and hand off those things, because those things really mean a lot to people who don't have anyone around the holidays, and who doesn't like a beautiful picture that a child has made. So that's what you can do for volunteering. Also want to talk quickly about the Hope Fridge. The Hope Fridge, it's part of Trinity Church right across from Solutions and Christine Ann. It's wonderful. The donors that I've been dealing with in my previous job asked me where they can donate. So I've been taking Mineshaft Bakery over to the Hope Fridge. I got a call the other night from someone who watched my show. Thank you very much. And their women's group made 100 sack lunches and delivered them to Hope Fridge. Hope Fridge is people can just go in and take what they need. There's no one saying, thank you so very much for those pictures. Wonderful. There's the Hope Fridge. People can go in and grab what they want. No one's judging them. No one's saying you can't take more of this or less of that. So it's a great way to give back in our community. And again, families can do it together. You make sandwiches, buy food, and take it down to the Hope Fridge. April is coming up soon. March is going to go by fast because March has St. Patty's Day. March has daylight saving time, which means I think it's the 8th. Clocks spring ahead, so we lose an hour. March has Holy Week. Palm Sunday starts in March, so I think it's going to go by fast. So Easter then is in April. Also in April is something near and dear to me, and that is National Volunteer Recognition Week. I'm putting the date out there now so all you people can get ready for it in your agencies and your homes and your churches. It's April 19th through the 25th. That's the time set aside by Points of Light and other organizations in which we can take time to thank our volunteers. My philosophy has always been to thank volunteers every day, because we should. But that's the time that's set aside. So also look for something in the newspaper, because Karen has been very good the last couple of years about letting us have ads in the newspaper at a reduced rate so agencies can thank the volunteers. So look for that also. So much to talk about with the guests that we have. Again, if you're interested in knowing more about volunteering or where to volunteer, you always can get my contact information, 920-279-9873, or my email there. And I'll be glad to talk to you more about volunteering in our wonderful community of Oshkosh. Stay tuned. We'll be back for our second segment of our March edition of The Place to Be, Oshkosh.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
I think it goes around.
Let's go. We gotta get you in practice.
And it's set!
We are back for our March edition of The Place to Be, Oshkosh. Normally, I'll tell you, I normally don't wear ties. After wearing ties in the ministry for that many years, I have a big collection of them, but I have to celebrate St. Patty's Day. And I'm wearing this shirt too because I want warmer weather. I want spring to be here. So it goes along with our decor. We're here today with two agencies, two not-for-profit agencies that are very important in our community. One has been around a while, and one is rather new. And so we're going to let them introduce themselves, tell us your title, how long you've been with your agency, and we'll get started from there. So Ashley and I go way back because she was an intern at COTS. So.
Yep, my name is Ashley Schneider. I am a case manager and community advocate for Tiny House Village. I'm going on 2 years this May in my position officially, so I've been very excited about having that
And how
job.
long has Tiny House been here?
About 3 years
3
now.
years. Okay, very good. And Advocap.
Yeah, hi. My name is Hannah Youngworth. I am a homeless prevention specialist at Advocap. I believe in this position I've been for about 2.5 years. I did work for Advocap prior. I was in our food and nutrition department. So I was a meal site manager. I did that for a few years as well. Took a break to go to school, and now I'm back. So Yeah.
Hi, my name is Helena Ledesma. I work also at Advocap. I'm a homeless prevention intern, but even though that's my title, I've been branching out and being aware of all of Advocap, not just homeless prevention.
Very good. Thank you all. So first of all, I have something for you because I realize this year Advocap is celebrating its 60th anniversary. So here's an anniversary card. This is going to mean nothing to you.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a card that tells you what happened 60 years ago.
Okay.
You guys were not around 60. So when I looked at the card, it was kind of funny to see how things have changed. But congratulations on all that you do.
Yes,
We appreciate
thank you
this.
so much.
Sure.
Yes.
So this is going to be a free-for-all because we're just going to talk about your agencies, what you do in the community, how you utilize volunteers in your programs, and what your needs are. So let's start with Ashley and Tiny House.
Tiny Houses right now does not actually have a lot of volunteers, but we are looking to open up more opportunities for the community to get involved, specifically with our childcare. Childcare is one of the most demanding expenses in most of our families' budgets. It's also sometimes hardest to work around when we're doing community events or our town hall meetings, which do happen every Tuesday night at 5 p.m. So if anyone has any availability for about 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, to hang out with our kiddos so that our parents can all meet together and we can all get our weekly updates on our community. We also have a redemption speaker series every Wednesday in the afternoon, 1:30 to about 3:30. We could also use volunteers for that. And anyone that's really wanting to engage with the kids in the community and the families that are currently experiencing homelessness and looking for more stability.
And I've been involved with some of the things that you've done at Tiny Houses, which is remarkable because you are so highly creative. You've had rummage sales there.
Yes.
For the residents.
Yeah.
You've done Christmas collections and things there. You bring the people together, which I think is important. It's beautiful. The tiny houses, I've toured them. They're wonderful. It's like a community to itself.
Yes.
With the sidewalks and the front porches. It reminds me of course, I'm saying this again because you guys are going to go, what is he talking about? Mayberry RFD and Andy Griffith. It just reminds me of that cool setting. So, and for you to need babysitting, to me is important because then the families can concentrate on what is going on. Very
Absolutely.
good. Congratulations on all the good work.
Thank you.
You guys.
Yeah, so Advocap is big. We're a big organization. So as a community action agency, we do have quite a few different departments. I know that we have a plethora of volunteer opportunities. So we do have a volunteer services department. And so I would say if anyone is interested in volunteering, I would either contact us directly and speak to somebody in our volunteer services department, or go on our website. There should be some more information on that. Yeah, I feel like there is a lot of opportunities. Just I'm part of one department and we have many. So
Which I find amazing because when I first got involved with Advocap, it was with Mark and the GED program, and we got him space at Father Carr's, and I didn't realize that you guys, because that is not a huge building in Oshkosh.
right.
You know, and it's on a busy intersection, which
Yep.
I've passed it a few times. But you guys do so much.
Right.
And I don't think people realize all that you, I think one thing they realize is that I'm going to go to Advocate for money,
Right.
for help with
Right.
programs. So you're a homeless prevention specialist.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Well, it means I wear a lot of hats. I do a lot of different things. So we don't have any immediate services for people, but we do work in homeless programs. So we have a coordinated entry system that if you're experiencing homelessness or at imminent risk of homelessness, we can help get you on that wait list for services. We answer a lot of housing stability calls, so there's lots of calls from the community. Unfortunately, there's just a super large need, not enough resources. But yeah, it's a lot of little things. I do a lot of behind the scenes stuff, I would say.
And I feel your pain because people in our community are seeing all of these apartment complexes going up all
Right.
over, and they're thinking, wow, and then they're finding out how much they're going for, and that kind of doesn't go hand in hand with what you're trying to do. So I really give you guys credit for what you're doing because questions I know. I mean, when I started too at Father Carr's, it was like call Advocap. You know, that was it.
Yeah.
Call Advocap, and I know it's more than just that. So.
Yeah.
And you're You're an intern,
Yes, I
but
am.
basically volunteering.
Yes.
Volunteering. So how has your experience been so far?
Yes, it truly's been amazing. I'm not just saying that because like it's my intern, but I truly have been literally from September till now, I truly see a growth in myself, like especially being more confident, being able to talk and just advocate. Like I feel like September I was huge on like, you know what, like I'm here for my intern, and then now I'm at the point where like I'm making a change and I'm actually being part of the change, even though I'm a volunteer. And to add on the volunteer things, some of the volunteer services that we look for anyone who is interested is affordable housing, business development, childcare, GED program, Head Start, home energy. The list just goes on. Like that's just a few volunteer services that we look for at Advocap. But versus a lot of people assume just us when it comes to specifically homeless prevention. But there's this list that we have that has like 15 of them that we need a lot of volunteers. So being able to at least be one of the departments is just an amazing thing to be part of.
And they put up the website again
Yeah.
for you guys, because you need to go on to the website to see all the different programs that you do offer.
Right.
You know, especially to the elderly with the home prevention stuff that you guys do inside the home and outside the home. So there is a lot that you do. Plus, you guys work together with other agencies.
Right.
That's where the time comes. I mean, we've talked about this before because I'm on the Homeless Prevention Committee, and people will say, call Advocap. And they don't realize that agencies need to work together. And now I think it's gotten better. Well, they say, well, Father Cars does this. All the other agencies do this. You can't just send them somewhere. You have to know who they are and what they do, especially with the county and everything. So it's a big job. I know what you guys do, and you're so young. You guys are. But then you have the energy, which is really, oh, thank you so much. You go to the top. You go to the top of the list. You know, one thing I noticed about you, you have not stopped smiling.
Thank you.
And I think that is the big thing that I try to tell young people too, because you all know you are not in this field for the money. You know that. But a lot of people do leave this field and they go into the corporate world and they can make 2 to 3 times more.
Right.
But I tell my children who are in the teaching field, and for some reason they didn't listen to me too. They're all in the not-for-profit field. But you choose a job for job satisfaction.
Yeah.
You know, and the money will come. And I can tell that you all enjoy what you do, especially because you switched your roles, but stayed with the same company.
Oh yeah. That was my first experience with nonprofits. Is when it was a part-time job, and I essentially was a glorified food worker, but being able to serve free meals to people that were 60 and over. I had a driver who delivered meals to homebound people, and then I took over that position a little bit, so I did both of ours. And to be able to see the impact that it helps to keep people in their homes for as long as possible, and just to there were some people that would come to my meal sites and they wouldn't even participate in the meal, but they wanted to be at the meal site. It's like the community aspect, and I felt so good when I did it. Like I felt like it was like the right thing. I was exactly where I was meant to be. I was in school full time, and I knew I had to come back to Advocap at some point, but I needed a bachelor's, you know. So yeah, I knew immediately I was going to go back to Advocap.
And I think what you're saying is important, because we used to have Meals on Wheels in town, and I was a volunteer driver for that. And what you were saying was the people wanted the meal, but they wanted you to come in and talk to them.
Yeah.
And it's the fellowship. It's they're home, they're shut in. We call it shut-ins because they can't get out, and to have that personality and people to talk to.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm sure it's the same way at Salvation Army when people go there for lunch.
Right.
The food is delicious, so Laura, thank you very much. The food is really delicious, but I think it's the fellowship and the connections and all of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's huge, especially like for the delivery, you volunteering. Like I don't know if you've ever seen the description of like what we look for specifically for that role. Like it literally says
I'm going to have to now that I'm retired.
Yeah, literally like it says like you have to engage and literally not just be like, we have specific requirements
Now that's
for
really
characteristics. Cool. It's not just like anyone from anywhere.
It's not like you're just going to take it and drop it off.
Yes.
And
And
Oh.
I feel like everyone who's been there, like I interview so many people being an intern. I'm like, let me hear about what each person does. But literally something I found in common is that literally they've been there for so long. Like for example, Tony, been there for 53, 52 years, and we've been open for 6 years. So like I was like, what makes you stay? And just seeing the passion in each of our workers, even though we're tired and we're overwhelmed, but knowing that we are not just a community for the people, but we're a community inside, which is why I love this internship. So like, yes, I'm doing this voluntarily, but like truly it's a passion just being able to go to Hannah, like, hey, this is what happened, like, can you help me? Just being able to have not just like coworker relationship, it's more like we're a whole family in our organization.
So your degree is going to be in social work.
Yes.
What is your degree in?
I have my bachelor's in human services and leadership.
Human services.
And my bachelor's in social work as well.
Is that not amazing? Because human services, when I was growing up, there was no such thing as a human services degree. And I think it's amazing because a human services degree, you can do so much. You know, where before you couldn't. So, and social work, what do we say? I mean, social workers are great. They're overworked, they're underpaid, no matter where they are, whether it's in a school or somewhere else. And we really do appreciate the work that is done by social workers because they care.
Yeah. And I feel like to add on that, like especially I feel like that's just like a very huge stereotype, which I've learned, especially being in school, is that like, yes, we're underpaid, but also there's a lot of ways to get our steps higher to be able to make six figures, like there's social work is such a variety that a lot of people, the assumptions, the unbiases is CPS. Like the stereotype about it. But social workers, for example, both of our degrees and literally with our agency, like no one would assume that we're social workers because of what we do.
Right, exactly. And I used to work at Aurora where there are social workers who have their masters who are running departments, running programs, the ER or the walk-in or things like that.
You see them everywhere.
Yes, or social workers in school.
Yes.
You know, so, which I will mention then, we'll talk about it briefly, is the Help for the Homeless Drive. There's Reed School has been involved the last 2 years, mainly because of their social worker and their teacher. So what does that drive, which is going on right now in the month of March, what does that drive mean to your agencies and your people, your clients, your residents?
I know for tiny houses, it is a huge piece for our families to be able to have access to the hygiene products that they need so that they can maintain the dignity of being clean and hygienic, especially when our kids are going to school. So our kids do go to school like Reed or Oaklawn or all over the Oshkosh area. And it is really hard for the kids to go to school if they don't have laundry supplies, if they don't have deodorant. We have a number of teenagers right now, they really appreciate having access to deodorant.
Yeah, that's a critical time.
Yep, laundry supplies are one of our biggest, and soap. These also help our residents be able to make sure that they can go to jobs, get employment where they are still being able to maintain their dignity, stretch their budget a little bit more to cover things like childcare or the increase in cost of groceries. Transportation is a big one, so it really helps our families quite a bit.
And it used to be, I've done the drive for 5 years. It used to be that the drive would last you a year. Right now, the products that's collected maybe 3 months, maybe because the need is there. When I first started and took over as chair, we had 4 agencies. 4. Now it's 10. The need is there, so the giving has to be also there. And we do live and work and play in a wonderful community that is very, very generous. What about you guys? What does the hygiene drive mean to you and your clients?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll say a little bit. I'm going to let Juliana take most of the reins on that. But I would say for me, being able to give a family a hairbrush when they don't have one, it's.
That's why you're in your field.
Oh my gosh.
I totally see it.
I think honestly, what Ashley had said, it's about the dignity that we can help give people, and these are items that we all use, we all need them, and when you are struggling and when you are living in poverty, and you have to choose between certain food items, to whether or not to buy fresh strawberries or toilet paper, that's being able to get some of these items. it allows us to help our families be able to not have to make those decisions.
Right. And then you're not taking from your budget
Right.
because they're donated.
Right.
Perfect.
Yep.
And what would you like to add?
Yeah, literally, I feel like this is such an important topic, especially because this is the 34th year we've done this, which is crazy. And then the numbers of how much money worth of hygiene and cleaning is 6.7 million. So yes, that's amazing, especially for 34 years. But what it means to me as an intern is especially why I became into Advocap in the first place. I was experiencing very low income poverty personally. Literally, just like Hannah said, you had to choose between fresh strawberries or even just toilet paper. Like that was such a big thing, and a lot of people are not aware that like a lot of our clients are in survivor mode of every single day. It's not, they don't think a week ahead. They
No,
think
you're
right
right.
away, daily.
You're right. And,
Yeah.
and also, I mean, we do have wonderful food pantries
Right.
in our town, in our community, but there are restrictions there on how often you can go and what you have. And they also don't have the product. Like the Oshkosh Community Food Pantry is part of the committee too now, so they can offer those things. But I think what you're saying, and saying with tears, I think is the message right there is it's dignity.
Yeah.
It's we all should be able to have clean clothes or go to school, especially when we're talking about kids.
Yes. Yep.
So I really do commend both of your agencies for what you do, because you have single families in your, but you also have married couples or couples together with kids
Correct.
that you're trying to serve in your community, and you're serving so many people with all the programs that you have, whether it's getting their GED or going in their homes or feeding them. So I think that's amazing. And I told you this before, people. Time goes fast. So we're winding down. Tell me something that you want me to discuss or know that we haven't talked about.
Well, I think for tiny houses, summer is coming up real quick here for our kids, and we have an intern as well who's not here today. Shout out to Maddie.
Very good.
She's currently our main childcare on site for when we do host our educational programming, our town hall meetings, our recovery speaker series, such things as that. So if you have time this summer and you want to come to help volunteer, that would be an amazing assistance to our program.
And your number?
My number is 920-267-7596.
Thank you very much. And you guys?
I feel like specifically what we need, especially for donation, because I feel like a lot of people are confused of what to donate. Yes, we love the toothbrush and toothpastes, but those are main things that we get stocked up for so many.
Right.
So a few things that we really need for donations is soap, but specifically liquid soap. A lot of people don't realize the bar of soap, sometimes they just get all over the place, and that's just
Yes.
messy.
Yeah.
Another thing is deodorant, like we talked about. Diapers is a big thing with our clients. Toilet papers, and knowing that these specific things aren't covered from many programs. And there's just like a lot of things that we need, especially like for donation. Like when it talk about laundry soap, not just like a big jug, but like those Dollar Tree little like travel size. Especially with me experiencing a lot of stuff growing up, like a travel sturdy bag to keep everything in
See,
there,
that's-
rather than just giving us big items to carry all this. Actual reusable bags that we can actually
Okay.
use.
It looks like we're
Yeah.
going to have both programs on again.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of information. Our time is running down. I really want to thank Advocap and Tiny Houses
thank
for
you.
being here. I want to thank the audience for being here. Remember that April is Volunteer Recognition Month. Thank you for watching our show. Thank you for being with us. We do live, work, and have fun in this wonderful community. So my name is John Neiman. Thank you very much for watching the March edition of The Place to Be, Oshkosh.